Today we're going to build a tank. There are our dimensions. So the first thing we've got to do is transfer all of these marks onto this. Alright, so we have our dimensions of the size of the tank. I've made a little paper template out which is going to give me all my dimensions. I'm going to mark the dimensions out on this sheet. We're going to start with a 1500 long. Here we have 1500. $1,500. 280 high. So any sort of toolbox you'd make, you would normally make this plastic on the outside. Because we're doing a tank, it goes underneath the floor. Really don't have to take much care with scratching it. Now is the tricky part, getting it out of here. But because I played with this machine that many times, we can get it out. All right, it's time to see how good we are. Did you expect anything different? Beautiful. This is how we make a tank. This is the difference from the old tank to the new tank, and how much space they've wasted. Well, now you can see the body's been made, all pressed up. Put some fittings in it. I have a breather, I have the pickup. On the other side, I have another breather and the filler. And this mashes together like so. Then we have the pickup, which runs inside the tank and comes up here when the bottom of the tank is all in. Picks up from here. A couple of baffles. We'll put that all together and start to weld it out. So, have a look. I've got the filler and a breather. Got double folded here to get a nice, really nice welder all the way around it. We have a breather here. This is a secondary breather, or I'll call it a mistake. And here's our pickup. I actually drilled the pickup on the wrong side. Hell, even I make mistakes. Just gonna get this all prepped up for some welding. I don't know how much I can show you with welding. We'll see how we go. So right now I'll tack it all together with a MIG welder, and then the final weld out will be all done with the TIG. Come around here, show you what I've got to deal with. Right, this corner is sitting inside a little bit more than I want it to, so I'll just use a screwdriver, lever that out a little bit, push this all down. Once it's in position, got my earth on, welders on, it's good to go. That's a nice little fit up there for welding. Probably like a little bit more proud. Push that down, it's touching underneath there. Come back around to the other side, or I'll turn the tank around. When you're making something like this, it takes twice as long as I'm filming it. You have to think about putting it in place for the camera. Everything has to be in. My wife, she hates it, but I've got to show you how it's done. It's my mission in life. Push that out, got a nice little corner there. Put a little tack on. Same with this side here, that's beautiful. All touching everywhere. Gives me a nice weld prepped all the way around, so I can get a beautiful TIG weld done with it when I'm finished. I use the MIG to tack it together because it's just so much quicker. Once it's all tacked together, we can maneuver the tank around into any position. It doesn't move anymore, doesn't break anymore. We've got everything set up now. Filler, breather, pick up, and the other breather. Got a good weld prep all the way around, so it'll be nice. I'll fill that weld in once I weld all of this. I'll just put a little weld over that little hole there. Good little weld prep all the way around. And I'll weld that with the TIG. The TIG is an absolute finish. You can see the two pieces melting together. When you use a MIG, you don't always get that guarantee. Fabrication and testing of the tank is all completed now. I've put the bracketry on it to support it inside. All we have to do now is put in the gauge. This is a float gauge, fuel levels, floats here, and it takes a reading, sends it to the gauge. I've got to put this in here. We need to drill and tap 5 holes. And 1 big hole as well. That was more difficult than what it's supposed to be. I will have to clean out. I will have to clean out what falls inside the tank there. But first, the power's coming from this side of the tank. Got the filler over this side, we've got the console over this side, so the power's coming in from this side. I'm going to point this over to this side, so the wiring just straight in. I have a little template. Let's go and drill and tap all of those holes. I have a drill and tap set. Find out what size these are. 5mm. A little bit of wax. That's the first cut tap. You get 3 taps. I'll do a bit of an explanation on the 3 taps. This is a 6mm tap. And you can see this one here is the bottoming tap, which is the last tap that you use. And then out of these 2, this is the first tap that you would use. It's the smallest one. And it cuts a very fine thread only right up to the end. Then you use the second tap. And then the last one you use the bottoming tap. Well, because it's aluminium, we probably don't need to use the 3 processes. If it was hard steel, you may have to. So I'm running a 5mm tap, and it's also a 3 tap series. And I'll get it out and show you. All right, it's also a 3 tap series. And I am going from the first tap, and I'm going straight to the bottoming tap for the last one, because it'll go in quite easily. All right, there's wax all over these because I'd use them quite regular. And I always just put a bit more wax on them. Wax on, wax off. That should be enough. Try one of the screws. Nice and free and easy. Tie that down, squash the seal. Be a beautiful thing. See, squeeze that through the seal. And there we have it. Alrighty, get the picture of what's going on there. And I'll just clean out the tank, and then I'll fasten this in, and then we're going to put it into the boat. So unfortunately I can't show you in here and film it and suck it out at the same time. But this is the little ingenious thing I've made. It's just a piece of garden hose. I put the air blower in one end, and basically I poke this inside the tank and press the air, and it draws it out. Now I can show you this. I've got a pile of shit here, and I'll zoom in on it. Let's get right in on this. Here we go. And I will suck it up after blowing it out this side. Here we go. And that's all I'm doing. You can probably see it fly out the end here. once the tank's cleaned out, I grab the screws, put a little bit of Never-Seez on it, on each screw. Done with that. Sender fitted, all drilled and tapped, bracketry on, ready to go into the boat. Let's go. Get rid of the spaces that I had sitting underneath the tank, keep it off the bottom so we don't have any rattling or anything going on underneath there. Where she sits. The cabling comes over to this side. I can even reuse the old hoses because he's cut them off short, but when he cut them off short it was for the old tank. The old tank finished here, so we've given him a bit more either side to try to make it to 100 litres. Probably just a fraction under 100 litres.